And so we had UFC 296 this past Saturday, and we had Paddy Pimblett taking on Tony Ferguson. I feel like it is 100% time for Tony Ferguson to hang it up. Now, I'm not saying because it was a complete domination slaughter for Tony, where Tony pretty much just got dominated. He did lose the fight. He did lose the fight for sure, but I don't feel like Paddy dominated him. You know, Paddy was able to do a lot of top control to Tony Ferguson. Paddy was able to land quite a few good shots to Tony Ferguson. Paddy was able to out-grapple, out-wrestle Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson just had no answers whatsoever. Tony Ferguson did what he did what he needed to do to stay in the fight and not get finished, but he could not do anything to win the fight. He just couldn't do nothing whatsoever. The guy literally just looked his age. He looked slow. He looked just a shell of his former self. And it's sad because I grew up watching Tony Ferguson. I remember all Tony Ferguson fights. And I'm sure a part of him wants to stick around and continue on fighting and showing everybody that, hey, I still got it. But no, this is 7 fights in a row. And Paddy Pimblett is nowhere near the top 10 fighter. And maybe not quite ready yet, or might be so. I got to see the top 10 list. But still, that's just showing you, Tony, it's time to hang it up. Very much time to hang it up. He had his time in the sun. He became interim lightweight champion of the world. It was very unfortunate that we never got that Khabib fight. Oh my God, how great of a fight that would have been, especially both in their prime and such. You know, it definitely would have been a fight for the ages for sure. It sucks. 5 attempts, didn't get it. You know, it is what it is. But Tony Ferguson, yeah, I really hope he doesn't come back. I really hope he doesn't fight at all. You know, because he just doesn't look good whatsoever. Whether it's boxing or bare knuckle, maybe jiu-jitsu, I don't know. I really don't know, but he just doesn't have it no more. And there's come a time in every fighter's life where one day they are the top of the world, and then the next day they are just nowhere near where they used to be. And it happens to everybody. It doesn't matter what career you have. You get older. Father Time doesn't wait for nobody. Pretty much taps you on your shoulder and says, hey, time to sit down. You know, your time in the sun is done. That's where I feel Tony Ferguson is at. So I'm very unfortunate, but it is what it is. As far as Paddy Pimblett goes, he actually looks somewhat better. You know, that time away, his surgery, he had some more muscle added to him. He had more stamina in a sense. You know, he did look a little fatigued in that 3rd round for sure. He definitely did look like he was losing some steam in that 3rd round. And it is still great for him to come back and beat an opponent like Tony Ferguson, but let's face facts, it's not the prime Tony Ferguson. It's a much more older, much more withered Tony Ferguson. So, as far as Paddy goes, that's why I say I don't feel like he should be ready for that top 10. It's still a good performance to come back from, for sure. After being gone for a year, you know, and not getting in too much trouble, it wasn't like he was stunned by anything. It wasn't look like he was in any real danger. So he actually was able to do what he needed to do to get a win. And it was still a really good win. It wasn't a very impressive win. It was still a really good win. Now, as far as what's next for Paddy, I would like to see him go against possibly a Dan Hooker or a Bobby Green. Something to like that. Or maybe even a rematch with Jared Gordon. I don't feel like they would do that. I feel like they want to move on from that. There really isn't much to gain with that rematch. I feel like they want to try to up Paddy's status, and I think they would give him someone like a Bobby Green or Dan Hooker. Those two would be very interesting and very fun to see. I personally believe. So guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Who do you think Paddy Pimblett should go against next? And let me know what you think is going to be next for Tony Ferguson. Should he retire, or are we going to see maybe just one more out of him? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.